In June of 2010, we hit the road, a band of anglers on a mission. What kind of mission, you may ask? This kind. In a little over 2 weeks, we traveled over 1,000 miles, or a third of an oil change, hitting up some of the best fishing the Midwest has to offer. After more than a week on the road, you begin to slip into the subtle groove of things, and the trip becomes more about the journey instead of about the different destinations.
Yeehaw! We're gonna need a license and a giant bottle of whiskey.
What do you want?
Can I get a number? Who's this little dude?
Where are you from? Got a couple of 13-year-old boys driving a Civic. We just gave them one of these. We got a new friend.
Got a buddy. Let's go check in.
All right, come on.
And around this time, roughly halfway through our trip, we made it to the middle of nowhere, Wisconsin. The crew at Tight Lines Fishing Company, Tim, Bart, Hunter, and Nate, are a motley group of fishermen, which, despite their nomadic guiding pasts, have returned home to the Midwest and their roots in pursuit of smallies. How's the fishery, you may ask? Well, so good that for almost a decade, they leave the comfort of their homes for the summer to make this 14-foot trailer their home. If you wonder where they fish, well, we've been sworn to secrecy. And quite frankly, we're not about to cross anyone who lives on the corner of 44 Mag and 7mm Drive.
I think what's really super unique about our fishery is, bass have always gotten like that. I don't want to downplay it, but it's, metal flake bass boats and hats on backwards and doing 100 miles an hour across a big flat or a big bay. And, really the bass to me are the rivers that are so amazing and so unique, very much like trout rivers. They're native, they're wild, and they're strong as hell, and they eat a fly like a fish should. I went out west because I thought, in my eye, trout was the coolest thing you could do. And then, you kind of remember where you came from, and where we came from was this area where we'd fish trout in the spring. The trout streams got warm, and then we come up the rivers up in the Midwest. We catch smallmouth bass. It was filler. It was filler for us. But they fought like crazy. As we grew up, we realized that they were quite a hardy game fish. Similarities are striking between smallmouth bass and trout. I look at a smallmouth bass. I tell my clients every day, smallmouth bass is like a big brown trout. It's not that riffle rainbow trout that you go after with little nymphs. It's that big wily brown trout that lays in the shadows, that eats meat. That's a smallmouth. You huff meat into cover and you look for a player and you want an aggressive take. That's what a smallmouth does. They're opportunistic, they are players. You hit the spot and they will attack.
Smallmouth for the most part are going for crayfish, baitfish, or dragonflies. The big problem lately with the low water has been the death from above factor. Anything with a huge splash has spooked them off. So we're fishing poppers like dead drift dragonflies, like you'd fish on the Henry's Fork. It's really great.
I think any of the other guys will tell you that just kind of learning and accepting the fact that, if the fish are eating, they're eating. When the fish are in that mood where they're kind of on the fence as to whether they're going to eat or not, I think that, bait fishermen and gear fishermen with some of the soft plastics and the scents and stuff like that, they have that ability to kind of will fish into eating, or to kind of force them into eating if they're kind of on the edge. And as fly fishermen, we can't make fish eat because we don't have that scent and stuff, and that's part of what makes it amazing and special. Is that people always say, well, why do you fly fish? And I say, well, not because it's cool or anything else like that, but because it's more satisfying.
I'm lucky enough to have a staff of guys and a group of guys that these guys aren't on the river on a Saturday or a Sunday and are just like, I'm a weekend warrior. The guys that work for the shop are on the river every day of the week. When you're on the river for 100 days straight, you know where the bass live.
So where do they live?
I really don't know. That's a good question. I'll tell you tomorrow. It's kind of a crapshoot, dude.